Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa and I am back to continue reading in chapter 20 of the book Letters and Numbers. The name of my channel is called Gnostic Knowledge, and that is what I am doing on this channel. I am reading the book Letters and Numbers written by Zachry K. Hubbard. You can get a copy of this book yourself by visiting Zachry K. Hubbard's YouTube channels, Gematria Affect News and Gematria Affect Sports. And in the description of each video that he produces, he leaves a link for you to purchase the book. The book is $5, and the best $5, yes, that you will ever spend, because the information in this book is phenomenal and true. You can prove this information yourself. Letters and Numbers is about Gematria, and Gematria is the encoding of numbers within our letters. Our letters are in fact numbers, so every word we speak has a numerical value, and the more you read about what Gematria is, the more you'll see clearly how it operates and how it has been operating and is still operating. And it's been, Gematria goes all the way back to Babylon, and it is still being practiced today within English. The book Letters and Numbers will come to you via email as a PDF file once you purchase the book, so be sure to save the file on the hard drive of your whatever device you're going to be using. Your I have something on my shirt, sorry about that. On your hard drive of your phone, your computer, your laptop, or what have you. Just make sure you save the book so that you'll have it at all times, have access to it. He left the copyright off the book so that you can have it bound into a book for your personal library. And keeping it as an electronic file makes it easy for you to find information when you're searching within the book, because there's over 700 pages in this book. Zachry K. Hubbard also wrote a second book called Letters and Numbers, and it is a continuation of, this second book is called Number Games, Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus. And it is a continuation of Letters and Numbers. You can read about Kobe Bryant's death in this book, Naya Rivera, Pop Smoke, and so much more in this book. And history. That's why we don't know what Gematria is, because we don't pay attention to history. History repeats itself simply because of the code. So yes, you could get this book, Number Games, on Amazon right now. It is on the bestseller list as a pre-order. And it will be released on October 13th, that infamous number. But anyway, if you don't want to order the book on Amazon, you can get it directly from Zachry K. Hubbard by visiting his blog page, gematriaaffectnews.blogspot.com. The first thing you'll see when you arrive at that page is the advertising for the book Number Games. And as you scroll down, it gives you the instructions on how to purchase the book within the United States and abroad. And with that said, make sure you read the blogs on his blog page, gematriaaffectnews.blogspot.com. He also has a previous blog page called freetofindtruth.blogspot.com, and he had been blogging there for over 5 years, so there's a massive amount of content there to read and to to familiarize yourself with Gematria. But the books that he has written, it spoon feeds the information to you, so it's not rocket science. It's very simple to understand. And also there's other truth speakers in this community that I haven't mentioned in a while, and they have YouTube channels. Simple Truth Television, he decodes news stories and sports. You have Dan Barrett, you have Kayla the Code Talker, Gematria Altium. She has a blog page, and that would be gematriaaltium.blogspot.com. She does really good work. Zenith of the Alpha, Numerical Lion. There's a lot of people out there. Derek, he has a YouTube channel, Gematria 85. And he's the one that also built gematrinator.com, the website where you can go and utilize the calculator to type in any word or phrase to get the numerical values for them. And he has the 4 base ciphers there, but he has also the other ciphers. There's a lot of functions on that web page, on that calculator. So, familiarize yourself with it and understand the information. Okay, and with that said, I am going to continue in chapter 20. I am on page 644 on my iPad, so it might be a page off or whatever. But the next death that I am going to be covering is Dan Rooney. So, chapter 20 is Murder by Numbers, the Gematria Killing Code. So, Dan Rooney, Pittsburgh Steelers, July 20th, 1932, and he died April 13th, 2017. Dan Rooney, chairman of the NFL's Pittsburgh Steelers, died 98 days before his 85th birthday, just before the start of the 98th season of the NFL. Consider National Football League shares gematria of 85, and he died at age 84, corresponding with Jesuit, which he was. He was a Jesuit. Even more, he died on a date with numerology of 54, connecting to Jesuit order and Freemasonic. His death also came 147 days before the kickoff of the 98th NFL season, September 7th, 2017. A season that lasts 147 days. The number connecting to Freemason, conspiracy, and more. Most relevant of all, he died on the 103rd day of the year, corresponding with the ordinal gematria of Steelers, summing to 103. Alrighty. Aaron Hernandez, November 6th, 1989 to April 19th, 2017. And the report headline says, Aaron Hernandez, not on drugs before suicide, wrote Illuminati in Blood. Okay. On the same day, the New England Patriots would visit Donald Trump at the White House for winning Super Bowl 51. Aaron Hernandez would be found dead in his prison cell with the word Illuminati written out on the wall in blood. Okay. Consider, in gematria, Freemason, Illuminati, wall, and Donald Trump all equate to 48. If you go back and listen to Donald Trump's speech from January 19th, 2017, the day before Inauguration Day, he spent over half the time talking about how great the Patriots were. Go back and look if you doubt. That's the beauty of the information age. What he said then is on the eve of becoming president. All he could think about was the rigged NFL. Wow. Was the NFL rigged? Wow. Excuse me. Aaron Hernandez died 73 days after Super Bowl 51, where the number 73 connects to sacrifice, or a span of 74 days later, the number connecting to Masonic and killing. He also died on his 165th day of being 27 years old, where Scottish Rite has gematria of 165, and the Patriots were on their way to D.C., the land of the Scottish Rite. As for him dying at age 27, consider he also wore number 81 for the Patriots, where both numbers connect to ritual. How America slept through this story, I don't know. To me, it showed just how severe the coincidence theory programming is, which is a form of mind control over the general public that severely needs to be broken. Absolutely. Okay, Aaron Moran, October 18th, 1960 to April 22nd, 2017. 187 days after the 56th birthday of actress Erin Moran, she would reportedly die from cancer. She once starred in Happy Days. The show, which aired from 1974 to 1984, concluding 33 years earlier. The show name has Gematria of 38 as well as 43. And in the case of the latter number, 43, she died on a date numerology with 43. As for the date she passed on, April 22nd, which can be expressed as 422, it corresponds with the satanic gematria of her name, where Erin Moran, ERINMORAN, equates to 422. In the wake of her passing, her former co-star, Scott Baio, would blame her death on her drug habits, which received much attention in the days that followed. Interestingly, her death came 213 days after his 56th birthday, which was September 22nd, 2016. Wow. Desmond Jerome, BYT Youngin, YOUNG, capital N, okay? December 12th, 1989 to April 29th, 2017. This young rapper was killed on his 139th day of being 27 years old. The neighborhood he was gunned down in, Holly Grove, sums to 139, as well as 58, connecting to Gematria of Freemasonry. He was part of the hip-hop group known as Rich Gang, having fateful gematria of 67. He had been assigned to the group by the rapper Birdman, who was 48 years old at the time. It is no coincidence that Desmond Jerome died on Birdman's 74th day of being 48 years old. Again, Masonic and killing equate to 74, and the word Freemason has gematria of 48 in English and in Hebrew. As for his own rap name, BYT Youngin, it equated to 44, corresponding with kill and shooting, which was his cause of death. The date of his killing had numerology of 43 and fell on the 119th day of the year. Christopher Boykin, Big Black, January 13, 1972 to May 9, 2017. The man who was the co-star of MTV's Rob and Big would drop dead at age 45 from a heart attack. Consider, Rob and Big equates to 45 in reduction. Worse yet, his death came exactly 45 weeks after Rob Derrick's birthday, 42nd birthday. And that name is spelled Dyrdek. So I don't know how to pronounce that. It may be misspelled, not sure. Okay? But he died 45 weeks after Rob Dyrdek's birthday. 42nd birthday. He was 42. June 28, 2016. The main star of the hit TV show, Rob and Big. Okay. As for his date of passing, May 9th, it can be expressed as 59, not unlike 59, the number connecting to kill as well as Negro. Big Black, of course, was a black male. Also worth mentioning is that he died on his 117th day of being 45 years old. That matters because if you write out 45, it has reverse ordinal gematria of 117. Even more, 13, written as a word, has gematria of 45 as well as 117, and the TV show is remembered. He is remembered for was on MTV, having the giant M for a logo, which is the 13th letter of the English alphabet. Alrighty. Chris Cornell, July 20th, 1964, dies May 18th, 2017. When Chris Cornell was first reported dead from hanging, everywhere listed his date of passing as May 17th, which would change a few days after the breaking news to May 18th. The same day in history, Ian Curtis of Joy Division supposedly hung himself. What was interesting about the first reported date of passing is it was the 117th year anniversary of the publishing of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, who resides in the Emerald City, which is also the nickname for Seattle, where Chris Cornell became famous with his band Soundgarden. For the record, Soundgarden, The Wizard of Oz, and Ian Kevin Curtis all share Gematria overlap. Earlier, you learned about the significance of The Wizard of Oz and the number 13 in relation to the death of Judy Garland. Recall that the word 13 has Gematria of 117. As for the name Emerald City, it has Gematria of 52, matching Cornell's age of death. Even more, The Wizard of Oz film has an infamous scene of a man hanging himself in the background as Dorothy and the Tin Man are making their way to the Emerald City. I am going to have to see that because I've watched that show all of my life and I've never seen that that bit. I'm going to have to look for that clip. Wow. On the subject of his music, two of the most remembered songs, Fell on Black Days and Rusty Cage, also share Gematria of 52. And if you listen to the lyrics of the same songs, it seems they foretold of his death. And by knowing the code, perhaps they even were predictive of when it would come. Cornell also has a song called Pretty Noose, and Not by Chance. Asphyxiate equates to 52. Being a big fan of Mr. Cornell and Soundgarden, I also began to think of their song Black Hole Sun in light of the approaching eclipse, which was to take place August 21st, 2017. Even more, I recall that Chris Cornell was the vocalist for the band Audioslave for the latter part of his career and recorded the hit song Shadow on the Sun, which is a title also relevant to an eclipse and a song that has lyrics about dying alone. How Chris reportedly died from suicide by hanging himself with an exercise band, an object that could not possibly hold the weight of a grown man, not even Adam Lanza. As for the title, Shadow on the Sun, it has Gematria of 66, like rock and roll, and corresponding with the numerology of the date of the eclipse, August 21st, 2017. So you would add 8 plus 21 plus 20 plus 17. That would give you 66. Okay. Before we move on to the significance of May 18th, I want to discuss the date of May 17th, the 137th day of the year, a little more. Consider Cornell was known for grunge music, having Gematria of 137, and he performed his last concert earlier that day at the MGM Grand Hotel, having Gematria of 137 as well. By the way, that performance was in Detroit, having Gematria of 44 like Kiel, and being another music city much like Seattle, also summing to 44. Even more, it was MGM summing to 33. 137 is the 33rd prime. Okay, so it was the MGM summing to 33 that produced the film The Wizard of Oz. For yet another 137. Total eclipse sums to the amount, and consider that a total eclipse involves the moon, and Chris Cornell's birthday was July 20th, the date of NASA's supposed moon landing. Knowing the relationship between 137 and 33, the words Chris, rockstar, suffocate, and eclipse all equate to 33 as well, pairing nicely with his CC or 33 initials. As for May 18th, 2017, what became the date of death, it had a life lesson of number 33. Wow. From that day to the August 21st eclipse was 95 days, where the word eclipse has Francis Bacon Gematria of 95. Adding to the riddle, they blamed it on the drug Ativan, A-N-T-I, nope, Ativan, A-T-I-V-A-N, having Gematria of 95 as a contributing factor in his suicide. Consider the phrase Son of God, S-O-N, Son of God, also has Gematria of 95, and as we have covered, there are many relationships with the sun in the sky and the Son of God. Chris Cornell was also a man known for spiritual lyrics and struggles with his faith. If you are doubting the relationship with the eclipse and his death, consider the last studio album he released September 18th or 2015, titled Chris Cornell Higher Truth. In Gematria, those words equate to 134, similar to solar eclipse. And beyond the Gematria, the cover shows a blacked out sun with 13 rays of light coming off of it. Again, the eclipse was the first of its kind in the United States in 99 years, where 13 has Gematria of 99, as well as the United States of America. At the same time, the moon has 13 lunar cycles per calendar year, which of course is the object responsible for the eclipse. Also interesting, it was Cornell's 609th day since the release of the album that he died, and eclipse also shares Gematria of 69. In total, the album seems too well coordinated with his death and symbolic in its design in relation to the August 21st, 2017 eclipse to be written off as coincidence, especially in light of the history of his music and the focus on the sun over multiple decades. As for the final song Chris Cornell reportedly performed before his suicide, a breakout of his rusty cage, it was a cover of Led Zeppelin's In My Time of Dying. In Gematria, Chris Cornell, In My Time of Dying, and Bavarian Illuminati all sum to 188. Even more, the man who originally sung the song, Robert Plant, was to turn 69 years old, the number symbolizing eclipse. August 20th, the day before the big event. For yet another performance by Chris Cornell, it appears to have been in tribute to his death. It came on the 1-year anniversary of Prince's passing. That was April 21st, 2017, on The Tonight Show, summing to 187, like Total Eclipse, among other things. That performance was of his song, The Promise, having Gematria of 52, corresponding with his age of exit. That showing came 27 days before he hung himself, the ritual number, and where asphyxia equates to 103, which is the 27th prime number. Speaking of 103 and rituals, Ian Curtis reportedly hung himself May 18, 1980, a date with numerology of 103, and the parallels don't end there. In Gematria, his full name was Ian Kevin Curtis, summing to 175, corresponding with Soundgarden, The Wizard of Oz, and Vicky Cornell, who was the wife of Chris. Let us not forget about the death of Kurt Cobain, his wife, and the significance of the number 95. So, Ian Kevin Curtis equates to 67 in reduction. So, let me read this headline here. Chris Cornell's wife disputes intentional suicide finding. On the subject of Cornell's wife, notice this headline, which came May 19th, where she disputed his suicide being intentional. The emphasis on the word intentional is not coincidental. We know this because it sums to 52 in reduction gematria, meaning it was a headline meant to mock. Okay? Even more, the word has gematria of 65, connecting to Vicky, wife, and music. While the marriages of celebrities are a subject I have mostly ignored throughout this book, it is one I encourage you to investigate. You will find they are all arranged and done so by the code. This is true from music to Hollywood to the world of professional sports. As for her saying the suicide wasn't intentional, it made one wonder how people could accidentally hang themselves. Of course, there is something called autoerotic asphyxia, having gematria of 103, where people do accidentally kill themselves by masturbating with an object around their neck meant to cut off their air supply to heighten the orgasm. On the subject, interestingly, Cornell filmed a music video in 2015 where he is being hung, and while he is being hung, there is a woman fondling her boobs in the crowd and stripping from her clothes while watching the public hanging. At the end of the same music video, for the song Nearly Forgot My Broken Heart, it shows Chris Cornell walk away alive with the noose around his neck. As for the name of the song, recall the word heart has gematria of 52. And here's another headline. Chris Cornell burned on music video set in mock hanging. Okay, so also about the headline shown that I just read, it says he was burned in the mock hanging. The word burned has gematria of 64, and so does the name Chris Cornell, who died a span of 64 days from his 53rd birthday. His song Pretty Noose has gematria of 53, and I hope somewhere Chris Cornell was able to celebrate his 53rd birthday despite being reported dead to the public. Wow. All right. Cortez Kennedy, August 23rd, 1968 to May 23rd, 2017. Cortez Kennedy, who played his entire career with the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL, died at age 48, 92 days shy of his 49th birthday from unknown causes, which were later stated to be complications due to heart failure. Consider, in reverse reduction, Seahawks sums to 48. And Seattle Seahawks sums to 92. You might recall the Seattle Seahawks won Super Bowl 48 with 43 points. And fittingly, in reduction gematria, Seattle Seahawks sums to 43. As for the 49, Washington in reduction equates, and that is which state that Seattle resides in. Okay? Consider the Seahawks lost in Super Bowl 49. Most important of all, in the numbers pertaining to his death, he died on a date with numerology of 38, the number symbolizing death, murder, and killing. In this instance, Orlando sums to 38, in reverse reduction, and Florida 238 in reduction, his place of death. Making his early departure all the more fascinating, he was born on August 23rd, the 235th day of the year in non-leap years, and he died on May 23rd or 23/5. Recall the Freemason logo with each leg of the compasses kicked out at 23.5 degrees, and where Freemason sums to 48 in English and in Hebrew Gematria. Also interesting is that the location he passed, Orlando, Florida, has Gematria of 144, corresponding with killer and time. In light of time, his date of death was also a span of 93 days from his upcoming birthday, where the number 93 symbolizes Saturn, the keeper of time. For a bonus, the name Cortez Kennedy sums to 1992 in English Extended Gematria, and that is the year he won the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year award. He would die 25 years later, a number connecting to death. Wow. Alrighty. Manuel Noriega, February 11, 1934, died May 29, 2017. The man who became military dictator of Panama in the year 1983, emphasis on 83, would die at age 83, 107 days before his birthday. I'm sure you know what 83 represents, and as a reminder, both military and ritual sacrifice share Gematria of 107. His death also came on a date with a life lesson number of 44, connecting to the reduction Gematria of military and the ordinal value of kill. Worth mentioning is that he was born on the 42nd day of the year, and the name Noriega has Gematria of 42, where the name Manuel has Gematria of 96. Again, the divisors of the number 42 sum to 96. Also worth mentioning is that his name, Manuel Noriega, has Gematria of 135, the same as Central Intelligence Agency, which he was an asset of. Alrighty. James Hardy, December 24th, 1985, and he died June 7th, 2017. Alright, the former NFL receiver would be found dead in the Indiana River on a fateful day, June 7th, 2017. Consider, Indiana River sums to 83, corresponding with murder as well as football. When he was found dead, it was during the time of the NBA Finals, starring King James of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not coincidentally, the full name of the deceased man, James W. Hardy III, equated to 89 and 154, corresponding with King James, and where again the number 154 also connects to ritual sacrifice. And yes, his middle name is reported as being just W. On the subject of King James, it should be mentioned the word king has Gematria of 67, much like the date he was found, June 7th or 6-7. Even more, he was found dead 165 days after his birthday, connecting to Cleveland as well as Scottish Rite. As for his year of birth, 85, that synced with the Gematria of basketball, same as his age of death, 31 years old. It was later reported that James Hardy had been missing since May 30th, which was 216 days after the 33rd birthday of his ex, Toya Wright, October 26, 2016. That is interesting because Cleveland is the home of the 216 area code, and no doubt his murder had to do with the scripted NBA finals, which are always in connection to human sacrifice. Consider further, King James has Gematria of 35, much like the numerology of May 30th, or 5 plus 30 equals 35. Wow. So, Albert Johnson, Prodigy, okay? Albert Johnson, better known as Prodigy, okay? His birthday, November 2nd, 1974, and he died June 20th, 2017. Okay, so the headline states, Prodigy choked on an egg while hospitalized. Wow. The man known as Prodigy, from the hip-hop duo Mobb Deep, who was born on the day leaving 59 days left in the year, would die at age 42 in the most peculiar of fashion. While being hospitalized for a sickle cell anemia crisis, a condition summing to 94 like Prodigy, he would die from accidental choking on an egg reportedly. Consider, he died in Las Vegas, Nevada, the same place Tupac passed, who once rapped in the song Hit 'Em Up about Prodigy's sickle cell anemia health problem. Even more, accidental choking has Gematria of 139, the same as Tupac Shakur, who passed on September 13, or 13/9, 139. Wow. Further, his death came 4 days after what would have been Tupac's 46th birthday, which was the release date of the Tupac biopic All Eyes on Me, summing to 133, the same as Las Vegas, Nevada. As for the egg blamed in his choking death, it has Gematria of 35 and 62, the same as Mobb Deep. At the same time, sickle cell anemia also sums to 62. Consider the day prior. Sickle Cell Awareness Day fell on a date with numerology of 62 and 42. That means the day he passed had numerology of 43, connecting to killing, as well as Las Vegas, Nevada. Also worth mentioning is that the word 42 sums to 43. At the same time, if you write out 42, it totals 74, the same as killing, rapper, and Art of Rap tour, which he was performing on before falling under the weather. Another interesting point is that he appeared on the Alex Jones radio show InfoWars 137 days before his death at age 42. That was on February 3rd, 2017, a date with numerology of 42. So you would add 2 plus 3 plus 20 plus 17. That equates to 42. As a reminder, both Alex Jones and InfoWars sums to 42. And Alex Jones has a birthday of February 11, 1974, the 42nd day of the year. That name, Alex Jones, also has Gematria of 33, corresponding with 137, the 33rd prime, for even more 33. Prodigy died 33 weeks after his birthday, and he once rapped on the song Illuminati that it took him until age 33 to see. It's crazy. Okay, Prodigy died 33 weeks after his birthday, and he once rapped on the song Illuminati that it took him until age 33 to see. Got it. Alright, I understand now. I hope you do too. Shoot. If you take the time to look up the picture of Albert Johnson, better known as Prodigy, you'll see he has the number 666 tattooed on his throat. Not by coincidence, the name Albert Johnson sums to 666 in English Extended Gematria. Connecting is the fact that his final studio album, and I hope I can pronounce this, it's spelled Hegelian, so Hegelian Dialectic, and Dialectic. Hegelian Dialectic, his studio album, his final studio album. It released 151 days before his death, which is the 36th prime number, where 666 is the 36th triangular number. That album released January 20th, 2017, a date with numerology of 38 as well as 58. Wow. John Blackwell, September 9th, 1973, died July 4th, 2017. The drummer for Prince and Justin Timberlake would drop dead 67 days before his 44th birthday, having his life cut short at 43. The number connected to Masonic and killing. As you'll recall, Prince died a span of 67 days from vanity on the 44th parallel north. Even more, both the names John and John Blackwell have gematria of 47, and he died on July 4th, which can be written as 47 or 74, similar to 47 and 74. Both numbers further connecting to the gematria of killing. As for him being the drummer, let us not forget that the word equals 38, like murder, killing, death, and even Prince. His death came 215 days before Super Bowl 52 in Minnesota, also summing to 38, where Justin Timberlake paid tribute to Prince. Consider the Philadelphia Eagles, home of the 215 area code, would win that same game. Adding significance to the number at halftime, Dan Patrick of the announcing crew, exactly 2 hours and 15 minutes into the Super Bowl broadcast, pointed out that Nick Foles, the Eagles quarterback, had 215 passing yards at the half. Making matters even more interesting, John Blackwell was from South Carolina, where the star receiver of the Eagles, Alshon Jeffrey, played his college football, who guaranteed the Eagles would win the Super Bowl. As you'll learn next chapter, it was no coincidence there was a staged train crash in South Carolina hours before Super Bowl 52. That was part of an ongoing riddle that ties into Pennsylvania championships. And for one last point, consider the final score of Super Bowl 52 was 41-33, a sum of 74 points, not unlike his July 4th or 7-4 passing. As we'll get to, a big theme of Super Bowl 52 was the national anthem, the U.S. flag, and patriotism. Okay. Nelson Ellis, Nelsan, Nelson Ellis, November 30th, 1977, died July 8th, 2017. Okay. Nelson Ellis, the man remembered for playing the character Lafayette Reynolds in the HBO hit True Blood, would die unexpectedly at the age of 39. If you haven't seen the show, it is about vampires. Not by coincidence, the word vampire has a reduction gematria of 39, so does mosquito. Further, Nelson Ellis died on his 221st day of being 39 years old, and the character name Lafayette Reynolds has an ALW Kabbalah value of 221. It was reported after his passing that the cause of death was a heart attack, having reverse ordinal gematria of 189 and corresponding with the fact that he died on the 189th day of the Gregorian calendar year, July 8th. Further, July 8th, 2017 was a date, was a date with numerology of 25. So you would add 7 plus 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7. That equates to 25. And 25 corresponds with death. Absolutely. All right. Chester Bennington, March 20th, 1976. And he died July 20th, 2017. So, the headline. Chester Bennington dies on his good friend Chris Cornell's birthday. On what would have been Chris Cornell's birthday, the rock singer Chester Bennington reportedly hung himself. In the aftermath of his death, the media stated he had suffered from depression due to childhood abuse, including molestation. Consider that within mainstream American society, people say things such as Joe Schmo, John Doe, and Chester the Molester. And here we are talking about a Chester, a name having gematria of 33, like sex, who was the victim of a molester. Even more, his death came a span of 33 days before the upcoming solar eclipse of August 21st, 2017, the first of its kind in 99 years, and corresponding with the fact that Chester had birth numerology of 99 and that he died at age 41, the 13th prime number. And 13 written as a word equates to 99 in ordinal. The subject of the eclipse also factored into Bennington's history of music in the same way it factored into Chris Cornell's. Starting with the word Lincoln, alone from his band Linkin Park, it has reduction gematria of 33. And ordinal gematria of 69, the same as eclipse, and reverse ordinal gematria of 93, reminding that the sun is said to be 93 million miles from the earth. In the history of Linkin Park's music, they debuted a song called Shadow of the Day, July 25th, 2007 in Washington State, just north of Oregon, where the total eclipse of the United States would begin on August 21st. Recall that July 25 can be expressed as 25-7, much like the gematria of 257 for blood sacrifice. Adding to that, Shadow of the Day equates to 154, the same as ritual sacrifice. The name of the song also has gematria of 64, corresponding with the numerology of his date of passing, which had values of 64 and 44, both numbers representing kill and reminding that his death came a span of 64 days from Chris Cornell, who sang Shadow on the Sun. And as a reminder, July 20th, the date of Chester's passing, is the date of the moon landing, where the moon is the object in the sky responsible for casting the shadow on the sun. For another fascinating point, is that Chester Bennington died a span of 123 days from his birthday, the number connecting to conspiracy. As mentioned earlier, Scott Weiland of Stone Temple Pilots died on December 3rd, 2015, or 12/3 in Minnesota, having gematria of 52, corresponding with death. On the subject of the 12/3 3 death. Think about those lyrics from the Police about how murder by numbers is as simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. The Police aside, this parallel between Bennington and Wayland matters because Chester Bennington first performed with Stone Temple Pilots, filling in as a vocalist on the date of May 18, 2013, which would later become Cornell's date of passing. Consider that the Stone Temple Pilots were a Seattle band just like Soundgarden. In other words, there was a web of connections between the dead rock stars. Even more, Lincoln Park has Gematria of 52, reminding of Emerald City. And in regards to May 18th, it is the day leaving 227 days left in the year. The number having to do with pi, cycles, and circles. Wow. Okay. Jim Mars, M-A-R-R-S. Jim Mars, December 5th, 1943, died August 2nd, 2017. Jim Mars, a conspiracy researcher, would drop dead from a heart attack at age 74 on a very fitting date. For starters, August 2nd, the date of his passing, can be expressed as 82, much like 82, and his birth name was James Farrell Mars Jr., summing to 82. Of course, you can also flip that date around to 28, not unlike 28, which connects to kill as well as deceased. The date of his death was also 125 days before his December 5th birthday, which can be written as 12-5. Again, there are 125 degrees of spirituality in Kabbalah, a word having Gematria of 38, just the same as his author name, Jim Mars. His date of death was also a span of 51 days after the release of his last book, The Illuminati, the secret society that hijacked the world, which released June 13, 2017. Let us not forget that conspiracy has Gematria of 51, same as Federal and Freemason. And last, he died on a date with numerology of 47, where both 47 and 74, his age of passing, connect to the Gematria of killing. At the same time, the planet Mars, reminiscent of his last name, does a complete cycle in the sky every 47 years, where it then returns to the same place amongst the stars. Wow. Also, okay, Darren Dalton, D-A-U-L-T-O-N. Darren Dalton, January 3rd, 1962. Darren Dalton, January 3rd, 1962. And he died August 6th, 2017. Darren Dalton, the former Major League Baseball star who began his career with the Philadelphia Phillies, would die 215 days after his 55th birthday, where 215 is the Philadelphia area code. In light of him passing at age 55, he authored a book titled If They Only Knew, about his baseball career and numerology, a word having reduction Gematria of 55. As you know, that number also connects to sacrifice, and the term blood sacrifice has a reverse reduction value of 86, not unlike the date of his passing, August 6th or 8/6. What else stands out about his date of passing is it leaves 147 days left in the year, and Darren Dalton has an ordinal value of 147, a number that should jump out at you, connecting to Freemason, conspiracy, and even World Series, which he won in 1997, a fateful year. Further, the date of August 6th is the 218th day of the year, connecting to the English extended Gematria of death. In light of being a Philadelphia sports star, it is worth mentioning that he died a span of 183 days before the Philadelphia Eagles won their first Super Bowl in Minneapolis, February 4th, 2018. I bring this up because they defeated the New England Patriots from Massachusetts, having reversed ordinal gematria of 183, making the Patriots' all-time Super Bowl record 5-5, not far off from 55. Further, Minneapolis, where Super Bowl 52 was played, has reduction gematria of 55 and reverse reduction gematria of 62, the latter number connecting to Darren Dalton's year of birth. If you watched that game, you might recall it was number 55 of the Eagles, Brandon Graham, that caused the late sack fumble on Tom Brady that secured the game for Philadelphia. In light of Dalton dying on August 6th, I should also mention that the season of Super Bowl 52, which the Eagles won, was largely scripted around the subjects of the U.S. flag and national anthem, which we will learn more about ahead. For now, you can know that the national anthem was adopted in 1931, 86 years, like 8/6, August 6th, before the Eagles' Super Bowl season, and the Eagles became 8/6 all-time against the Patriots after beating them in Super Bowl 52, largely thanks to a go-ahead touchdown late in the game by number 86, Zach Ertz, 86 days after his 27th birthday, November 10th, 2017. In light of Ertz's age of 27, recall that in history, Willie Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles died at age 27 before Super Bowl 27 and would have turned 53 years old the same day the Eagles won Super Bowl 52, the 27th Super Bowl for the NFC. It goes to show it really is all this calculated, from the rigging to the murdering. And the name Brown equals 27 in reduction and reverse reduction. Alright, for even more proof of the detail of calculation, the name Darren Dalton has a reduction gematria of 57. As you will learn, the word 57 has the same ordinal gematria as championship and Super Bowl. At the same time, World Series sums to 57 in reduction. Thus, it is a championship-related number. In the case of the Eagles' Super Bowl winning season, it had been 57 years since their last. Also interesting, the Philadelphia Eagles star running back LeGarrette Blount, born December 5th, 1986, emphasis on 86, celebrated his birthday 61 days before the Super Bowl, the number connecting to Philadelphia in reverse reduction. Consider, the year prior he had played for the Patriots, winning the Super Bowl with them in their 57th season. If you want to take it even a step further, the star wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, Alshon Jeffrey, predicted exactly 57 weeks before Super Bowl 52 that he would win it. That was January 1st, 2017, while with the Chicago Bears, summing to 55 in reduction. the team that blew out the Patriots in the 85 NFL season, whereas the Eagles in their 85th season beat the Patriots in their 58th season. The prior number connecting to the reduction gematria of National Football League, which was established in Chicago. Boy, these people. For one more 57, the Vikings, who hosted Super Bowl 52, were in their 57th season as a franchise, making it the perfect year to play host and play in the NFC Championship. Wow. Last, his death was also seemingly connected to the World Series played later in 2017. He died 79 days before it began, October 24, 2017. As you know, the number 79 connects to murder. You could also say he died a span of 11 weeks and 3 days before the World Series, which was the 113th World Series all time. As a reminder, the date he passed was the day leaving 147 days left in the year, the number connecting to the ordinal values of Darren Dalton and World Series. At the same time, Master Builder has an ordinal value of 147, and 22 is the Master Builder number. Connecting the dots, the number 79 is the 22nd prime. Notice how all the pieces fit together? Absolutely. Absolutely. 79, the 22nd prime number. 22 is the Master Builder number. Master Builder equates to 147 in ordinal. World Series equates to 147 in ordinal. Darren Dalton, spelled D-A-R-R-E-N, D-A-U-L-T-O-N, equates to 147. Wow. Darren Dalton, dead on the day, leaving 147 days left in the year, 79 days before the start of the World Series. Give me a break. To bring us full circle, recall what you learned about numerology, and 22 and 11 being the most significant numbers. And when you finish reading this book, if you have the time, you should make a point to read Darren Dalton's If They Only Knew. And you know what? I'm going to write that down now because I will read this book. If They Only Knew. Wow. This stuff is just so crazy. And people still just think this is the way the world works. I do not understand how. It is just so crazy. Darren Dalton. This last name, D-A-U-L-T-O-N. Anyway, moving right along. The next person to read about, Dick Gregory. October 12th, 1932 to August 19th, 2017. Dick Gregory, the comedian, a word having gematria of 44 and 64, similar to kill, would drop dead on a date with numerology of 44 and 64. As for dying at age 84, recall the divisors of the number 44 sum to 84. And the phrase stand-up comedian also shares gematria of 84. In light of his death coming before the August 21st solar eclipse, it is interesting that he was born on a date with numerology of 54 and died 54 days before his upcoming 85th birthday. Again, Sun, S-U-N, has the ordinal gematria of 54. Also, the day he passed was the day leaving 134 days left in the year, corresponding with the ordinal gematria of solar eclipse. Wow. Jerry Lewis, March 16th, 1926, and he died August 20th, 2017. Okay. The day after the passing of Dick Gregory, another comedian would drop dead, this time Jerry Lewis, a name summing to 54 in reduction, and just one day before the eclipse. He died on his 158th day of being 91 years old. Okay? Recall that 91 is the 13th triangular number, and the relationship with Burger King and McDonald's 158 and 13. The greater meaning of the relationship is Freemasonry, summing to 158 in reverse ordinal. Wow. Troy Gentry, April 5th, 1967, and he died September 8th, 2017. Okay. On September 8th, 2017, Troy Gentry would become one of two country musicians to die, having his life come to a premature end due to a helicopter crash, summing to 79 in reduction and 83 in reverse reduction, both numbers of murder. Consider he was born April 5th or 5-4 and died on September 8th, the 251st day of the year, where 251 is the 54th prime number. September 8 can also be expressed as 89, and the name Gentry has an ordinal value of 89. From his last birthday to his date of death was a span of 157 days, the 37th prime number, where country sums to 37 in reverse reduction. So, wow. His last birthday, I'm going to reread that. From his last birthday to his date of death was a span of 157 days, the 37th prime number, where country sums to 37 in reverse reduction. Wow. Don Williams, May 27, 1939, died September 8th, 2017. Don Williams was the second country singer to die on this date. Consider the name Williams has an ordinal gematria of 98, and the date September 8 can be expressed as 98. He died on the first day of the 15th week of his age, which was 78 years, similar to the speed records often spin at 78 revolutions per minute. As you know, when 15 is written as a word, it has reduction gematria of 38, like death in ordinal. Also noteworthy, his solo career began in 1971, 46 years earlier, a number of sacrifice. Wow. Kaninka Jenkins, September 10th, 2017 is when she died. Okay. Her birthday is not given right now. Okay. Wow. On September 11th, 9/11, on September 11th, 2017, the news story of the day became a 19-year-old girl who reportedly walked into the freezer of the Rosemont Hotel in Chicago, Illinois, under her own power and froze to death. Yeah. What is fascinating about this news coming on 9/11, coming on September 11, the 16-year anniversary of a very tragic day involving 19 hijackers, was Rosemont has ordinal gematria of 119. And the word freeze had English extended gematria of 911. In the wake of her passing, a viral internet rumor swirled that the young woman was killed by freezing so that her kidneys could be harvested for Selena Gomez, a young celebrity that admitted to having a kidney transplant on September 14th, just days after the news of Kanika Jenkins' untimely passing. What was interesting about this rumor was Selena Gomez had released a popular music video titled Fetish on July 13th, 2017, 59 days before the young Negro woman was found in the freezer, which featured Selena Gomez primarily singing in a walk-in freezer. In light of the story coming in 2017, it should be noted that 59 is the 17th prime, and both 59 and 17 connect to the Gematria of kill. Further, Selena Gomez had turned 25 years old July 22, 2017, which was 50 days before Kanika Jenkins reportedly died in the freezer. This matters because Selena Gomez has reduction gematria of 50 and kidney transplant has reverse ordinal gematria of 229, the 50th prime. Consider, the date of Jenkins' death had numerology of 36. So the date was 9/10/17, which equates to 36. If you add it together, 9 plus 10 plus 17. Wow. That should be 11. I think she died on 9/11. Anywho, so the date of Jenkins' death, so I will do that right now because, and I'm sure it's easy for, he had to do all this work on his own. It's easy to do, make mistakes. So, what was it? Okay. Nope, he was correct. 9 plus 10 plus 17, it does equate to 36, but I thought he was meaning for 9/11. Anywho, moving right along. And the word transplant has a reduction gematria of 36. Okay, so let me reread this to get this back in context here. Okay. Okay. Selena Gomez has reduction gematria of 50, and kidney transplant has reverse ordinal gematria of 229, the 50th prime number. Consider the date of Jenkins' death had numerology of 36, and the word transplant has reduction gematria of 36. Even more, the word kidneys equates to 97 in ALW and KLW Kabbalah, whereas Rosemont sums to 97 in reverse ordinal, the same as freeze and death. Yeah, and also I believe, Kanika died on the 10th, but her news of her death was the news story for the 9/11. Got it. Now you get it. Okay, so keep in mind the number 97 is the 25th prime, corresponding with Selena Gomez's age at the time of the news and transplant. Also noteworthy is that the name Kanika Jenkins was right for Chicago. In ordinal gematria, her name equates to 143, similar to how Chicago sums to 143 in reverse ordinal. Recall that number corresponds with reverse reduction gematria of Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, as if you need a reminder about that gang. Amazingly, Rosemont 38 in reduction, Kanika 38 reverse reduction, Jenkins 107 in reverse ordinal, Ritual Sacrifice 107 in reverse reduction. And Chicago, reminds me of the young man that has a YouTube video called Children of Israel out here. Children of Israel, pretty much, but it's Children of Israel out here. And he does a lot of fantastic decoding about Chicago. and I would encourage you to look up his YouTube channel and listen to what he decodes about, especially Hebrews. He is Hebrew, and he does a lot of decoding out of the Bible, and it's amazing. A lot of the things. I mean, it's a lot of, man, this stuff. Gematria unlocks a lot of things, and of course it comes from the Bible, and I'm glad that this young man is doing it. He's decoding from the Bible as well, but he's using the Bible, period. So yeah, check him out. Children of Israel out here, one word, and it's on YouTube. So if you happen to spell it incorrectly, I think it should give you a choice to spell it. It'll give you a selection to pick his channel. Anyway, moving on. Anthony Soares, Fifth. His stage name is Fifth, F-I-F, and his last name is spelled S-O-A-R-E-S. In case I'm butchering his name, I don't mean to, but Anthony Soares, stage name Fifth. He died September 14th, 2017. No birthday given. Okay, so the headline: Toronto-born rapper Drake quiet on probe into slaying a friend. Senior police officials are privately expressing dismay that the Toronto rapper has ignored a homicide detective's request to encourage witnesses to step forward to help solve a friend's killing. Wow. The close friend of the rapper Drake, who went by the stage name Fifth, F-I-F, would be gunned down on camera in what is still an unsolved mystery, if you can believe. Oh my God. But run a red light and your tag looked like it posed for the camera. This is crazy. Okay, not by chance. The date of his murder, September 14th, is the 257th day of the year, connecting to the Gematria of blood sacrifice. It was reported Anthony Soares was 33 years old at the time of his murder, connecting to the Gematria of Drake, summing to 33 in reverse reduction. At the same time, the name Drake has reduction Gematria of 21. The same as the reduction and ordinal value of Fifth. As for his surname, Soares, S-O-A-R-E-S, it has reverse reduction Gematria of 40, connecting to the fact he died on a date with numerology of 40, and he died 40 days before Drake's 31st birthday, October 24th, 2017. Wow. Bernie Casey, June 18, 1939, died September 20th, 2017. Bernie Casey, born Bernard Terry Casey, a name summing to 105 in reverse reduction, would die on his 105th day of being 78 years old. Adding to the relevance of the number, he had played 105 games in the NFL for the 49ers and Rams, who were the prime-time football game for Thursday, September 21st, the day of the news of his death. In the game, the Rams would win. This is fascinating because Los Angeles Rams and Bernie Casey both share Gematria of 52. And this game was early in the season that was to finish with Super Bowl 52. Consider, the Rams won with 41, and LA has Gematria of 41, which is the city where Casey died. Further, the date of his passing had numerology of 46, connecting to sacrifice, and 66 connecting to NFL. Wow. Alrighty. Hugh Hefner, April 9th, 1926, died September 27, 2017. Hugh Hefner, remembered for his red and black smoking jacket, among other things, would die at age 91 on the Jesuit order's birthday, an order established on a date with numerology of 91, September 27, 1540, and an order symbolized with the colors red and black. Consider that in Las Vegas, Nevada, there is a street commemorating his name, and on October 1st, the day leaving 91 days left in the year, there would be a false flag shooting in Las Vegas at the Route 91 Harvest Festival. Consider further that false flag came 191 days from the March 25th, 2017 false flag, also in Las Vegas, and Society of Jesus has Gematria of 191. At the same time, Society of Jesus has Gematria of 79, matching the full name, Hugh Marston Hefner, which of course also corresponds with murder. Even more, Hefner died on the 477th day, on the 477th birthday of the order, and in the Prime's cipher, ritual sacrifice sums to 477. For yet another ritual with 91, Hugh Hefner's home was in Chicago, and in English Extended and Frank Baconis, Chicago sums to 91, similar to how Chicago, Illinois equates to 91 using the reduction cipher when S is counted for 10. These points aside, his death had everything to do with the establishment of Playboy magazine in 53, dying on a date with numerology of 53. And you would add 9 plus 27 plus 17 equates to 53. And Marilyn Monroe, the magazine's most famous model. The term Playboy Bunny, what the models of the magazine are known as, has reverse reduction gematria of 53, as well as ordinal gematria of 172. Don't forget, womb, the word womb, and Vesica Pisces share gematria of 53 as well. Following the pattern, Hugh died on his 172nd day of being 91 years old, and Playboy magazine also has gematria of 172, as well as Marilyn Monroe. Adding to the riddles with 53, the original Playboy bunny was Marilyn Monroe, appearing on the cover and nude in the magazine in its very first issue. Not by chance, Marilyn Monroe was born 53 days after Hugh Hefner, June 1st, 1926, and died August 5th, 1962, a date that now has an anniversary 53 days before the passing of Hugh Hefner. Also relevant, Playboy magazine and Marilyn Monroe share gematria of 73, and Hugh's date of passing was also one with a numerology of 73. For the record, Marilyn Monroe died on her 66th day of being 36 years old, where the word woman has gematria of 66, a number that has relationship with 666, the number of the beast, which again is the 36th triangular number. As you learned earlier, XXX breaks down to 666. In other words, it isn't hard to see who took her life, which was blamed on a barbiturate overdose, having gematria of 85, similar to her August 5th or 8-5 passing. It was the synagogue of Satan, speaking of which the name Hugh has gematria of 223, a trademark of the gang. Wow. For yet another riddle, you could say that Hefner died 171 days after his 91st birthday, and the word masturbation has gematria of 171, a number also connecting to Chicago, Illinois. Of course, that is what Hugh Hefner's magazine was intended for, to help men get their rocks off. Related to that, the words playboy, porno, nudity, and sex all share gematria of 33, another hallmark of the gang, and a number central to we people. Shit. For one last point of consideration, think about how the culture of pornography has rapidly spread in the age of the internet. As a reminder, both internet and computer share gematria of 666, a number having historical significance to computers because Apple priced their first consumer computer at $666, and some Bible historians believe the story of Adam and Eve and the forbidden fruit, apple, and original sin was really about sex, which truly does make sense, especially when you consider God punished Eve with a child and terrible labor pains for tasting the fruit. Absolutely. I'll also note that Genesis has reduction gematria of 33 and reverse Sumerian gematria of 666. It's just crazy, 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 crazy. All right. Tom Petty, October 20th, 1950 to October 2nd, 2017. Wow. Tom Petty would die at age 66 from cardiac arrest, a cause of death having gematria of 66, same as the date, October 2nd, written as word, October 2nd, okay? Even more, October 2nd, Psalms 2213, similar to death. He was remembered as the face of the band Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, having gematria of 317, the 66th prime number, corresponding nicely with the gematria of rock and roll. Adding to the riddles with the number 66 was the numerology of his date of death, summing to 49. Recall, if you write out 66, it sums to 49, and the name Petty alone shares gematria of 49. The relationship comes from the Bible, where Revelation equating to 49 is the 66th book of most Bibles. Oh, man. Okay, as for where he died, that was Santa Monica, having gematria of 38 and being located on the 34th parallel north and the 118th meridian west. Wow. Numbers connecting to murder and death. In the long line of murder numbers, which we have hardly touched in this chapter, many have taken place in this town, and sadly, it appears Tom Petty's fate was sealed when he began his music career in 1976 with the release of his first album on November 9th. Again, Blood Sacrifice has gematria of 76, and by the tyrants, this end date was probably planned for just as long. Also interesting is that the name Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers sums to 119, matching nicely with the date November 9th or 11/9. Okay? Following that pattern, it would be reported on January 19th or 1/19 that Tom Petty had died from an overdose of fentanyl, summing to 119 in reverse ordinal, the same drug blamed for Prince's passing. Consider the news came 3 months and 17 days after his death, similar to 317. Thus, the mocking in the reporting was as clear as could be. Oh my goodness. Michael Knight, Mychaelknight, April 11, 1978, died October 17, 2017. Michael Knight, Project Runway fashion designer, dies at 39. Okay. Michael Knight of Project Runway, the popular TV show, would pass at age 39, exactly 189 days after his birthday. Not by chance, Project Runway has ordinal gematria of 189. As for him dying at 39 years of age, his last name Knight and the spelling of his birth name Michael, well, he has it spelled over here as Michael, so we will go with the Michael. Okay, Michael. Both share gematria of 39. The date he died also has numerology of 44 and 64, connecting to the gematria of the word kill. As for 64, it also connects to the name Michael Knight. So, okay. Well, maybe his birth name is Michael, Michael, and he changed it to Mychael, just as Zach has it written here. So, and you know, Zach is very thorough, so hey, there you go. It is intended for Mychael. Okay, so moving right along. Bruce Harris, October 19th, 2017, the day of his demise. Okay, let's go. On a date with a life lesson number of 46, and the day leaving 73 days left in the year, the numbers connecting to sacrifice, the 38-year-old brother of the NBA star Devin Harris would be killed in a supposed car crash. Consider the surname of this family, Harris, also has ordinal gematria of 73. Even more, this came at the start of the 18th season for Devin Harris, and 18, written as a word, has ordinal value of 73. The timing of the death came 33 weeks and 3 days after Devin Harris's 34th birthday, who was born in 83, numbers connected to murder, just like his brother's age of passing. Even worse, Harris wears the number 34 for the Mavericks, a team summing to 38. Wow. That is crazy. Okay. Here, let me move right along here. Daniel Teo Nasheim, and of course I'm butchering that name, so I will spell it. So you know how to spell Daniel, but the last name is T-E apostrophe-O and hyphen N-E-S-H-E-I-M. Daniel Teo Nasheim. June 12th, 1987. Died October 29, 2017. Okay. The man who played for the Philadelphia Eagles and wore the number 52, Daniel Teo Nasheim, would be found dead in his sleep, a span of 85 days before the Eagles advanced to Super Bowl 52, which was on January 21st, 2018. This matters because the Eagles were in their 85th season, the year of Super Bowl 52, and National Football League has reduction gematria of 85. So does Daniel Teo Nasheim. Further, his death came a span of 99 days from Super Bowl 52, February 4th, 2018, a number connecting to 13 as well as New England, and 13 written as a word. Wow. In the case of Super Bowl 52, it was a rematch of the Eagles and New England Patriots, who had last played each other in Super Bowl 39, 13 years earlier. Even more, prior to Super Bowl 52, they had only played each other 13 times in history. As you know, the Eagles would go on to win that game. As for him dying at age 30, consider Super Bowl 52 was LII in Roman numerals. And if you take the ordinal value of LII, 12 plus 9 plus 9, the result is 30. As a word, 30 has reverse ordinal gematria of 62, corresponding with the gematria of Super Bowl LII. Okay, Super Bowl. Wow. Minneapolis, the location of Super Bowl 52, LII, okay, and sacrifice. Wow. Further adding to the relevance of the number, the Eagles and Patriots had last played each other December 6th, 2015, 113 weeks before Super Bowl 52, where 113 is the 30th prime number. At the same time, Eagles in reverse ordinal equates to 113. Thus it was clear why this young man was chosen for the ritual sacrifice that he became. Wow. Roy Halladay, May 14, 1977, died November 7, 2017. It was reported that Roy Halladay, Halladay, died just off the coast of Holiday, Florida, in a plane crash. He was the MLB star pitcher who won the Cy Young twice in 2003 and 2010. Wow. As for the date of his death, it was perfect for a Major League Baseball sacrifice. Consider, Major League Baseball equates to 117, much like the date November 7 or 11/7. November 7 is also the date that leaves 54 days left in the year, and baseball sums to 54 in ordinal gematria as well as reverse reduction. Even more, MLB equates to 54 in reverse ordinal. His full name, Harry Leroy Halladay III, summing to 331, the 67th prime, likely made him a target for sacrifice. In terms of sacrifice, the date of his death also had numerology of 55. So you would add 11 plus 7 plus 20 plus 17. That equates to 55. And I will end my reading for this evening there. And I will continue my next reading on page 658. I might as well say 657 because at the bottom of this page it just says Chuck Mosley. So that's the next death that I will cover in the next reading on chapter 20. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the reading. I hope you'll give the video a like and a share, that's so someone else can find this information and pass it on. And please learn the information, understand the information, and teach the information. Okay, until then, you guys have a good evening, and I will read later. Bye-bye.